Hey ladies, welcome to episode 64 on the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast. I'm really excited to dive into the one word you need in your life. Before we do that, I want to let you know that here in December of 2020, I have a few openings left for one-on-one consultations. If you have been thinking, I am intrigued by intuitive eating, I'm done with dieting, I need some support, some accountability, some tools, some strategies, all the things. Grab one of my few consultations left for 2020 so that we can get started working together January 2021. I can't even believe we're saying it. All right, let's dive into the episode.
Welcome to the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast with certified life coach, mom of four, and just all-around lover of all things 80s, your host, Jennifer D'Amato. Buckle in. Let's get started.
Well, we've waited for it, maybe impatiently, but it's the last month of the year for 2020. So if you're listening to this in real time, take a moment. Let's do a little dance. Yes, here we are. I can say with confidence that this has been one of the most trying and wonderful years of my life. Yes, both simultaneously. Amazing things have happened in my coaching business, Health Coach4Life, especially the women who have said, screw dieting, screw diet culture, and have increased their confidence, who have found food freedom and healed their relationship with food. Amazing. There's also been amazing things for this podcast. It has had 5,000 downloads. Since this summer, I've hit over 700 downloads each month. Are you freaking kidding me? Let me just let you know. My goal was 100 downloads each month. 100. 100. That was my goal. I'm over 700. Oh my goodness. I love you all. You're all amazing, and I'm so freaking happy. I'm so grateful. I'm just in awe. I'm usually shocked when I look at the stats and I'm just like, who are you all? Where are you? I want to give you all a freaking hug and high five. I mean, I could sit here and tell you all of the trying things, all of the really crappy things, but if you want to hear about that, you can go listen to episode 60 for a few of those. I went into detail of things that have been going on in that episode. I'm here to tell you why, though, I believe in the midst of a subpar year, well, that's being pretty generous, right? There have been amazing and exhilarating things happening. It's one word: victorious. So this was my word for 2020. Now, this came to me in December of 2019. I was doing my 2020 planning. So clearly, I had no idea. None of us had any idea what the new year would bring. I mean, let's be honest, we were all just so excited that Cinco de Mayo was on Taco Tuesday. I mean, come on. Thank goodness I didn't know. Every year I reflect and give time to allow a word to come to me. I always know it's the word when I want to throw it out the door. I mean, fully reject it. And let me tell you, I wanted to throw the word victorious out the window last year. It seemed arrogant. It seemed pompous. It also felt like completely out of reach and a huge stretch. I knew at that moment when I felt all those feels, this was my word. Victorious literally means to have won a victory. walking through this year, this freaking 2020 year, with my unexpected breast health issues, I would need to feel victorious. Walking through this year and getting to the end feels like a freaking victory in itself. Just making it to the end, victorious. Walking through it and having success, victorious. So when I reflected on this, it got me thinking about my previous words. So in my office, I have my last 2 years of planners. So I grabbed them off the shelf and looked at the word of the year. For 2018, it was steadfast. When I wrote that, I had no idea that I would leave my part-time job to coach full-time. It was just a few months after writing that word down. I needed to have that unwavering feeling that I was doing the right thing. I needed to feel it in my soul. That's steadfast. Amazing. Amazing. So then I opened up my journal planner for 2019. So remember, I was writing this word December 2018. The word was advantageous. I can distinctly remember when that word came over me. So, I'm smart, but I am not one of those human dictionary people. And I'm like, what does this word really mean? Why this word? So I immediately looked up the definition, which reads, involving or creating favorable circumstances that increase the chances of success or effectiveness. I can distinctly remember wanting to run from that word. Advantageous. I am so glad I didn't. 2019 was the year my business took off. Here's what I know. Having a word for the year before the year ever begins gives me focus. Before circumstances can show themselves, I know how I am going to show up. Having this word helps me work through my thoughts immediately, and it gives me a place to come back to throughout the year. This whole year, I have come back to the word victorious. Was it challenging at times? Hell yes. Was it centering and provided a reframe every single time? So much. I don't know if you've ever had a word for the year. I think vision boards can be great. A lot of people get into making vision boards. I am a big believer in the power of our thoughts, and that's why this has consistently been a practice for me. This was actually a practice for me before I knew how powerful the exercise was. I'm sure if I dug through enough of my saved journals, I would find other words. It serves me so well to have a word going into a new year. Once that word is present for me, all the goals I set for the first quarter, for the year, come from that place. Think about that. I had to come from a place of victory this entire year. Just take that in for a moment. I had to believe I was victorious this year. Think about how crazy that has been. When that mammogram freaking came back with suspicious stuff in it. When I'm back for the second and third biopsies. When everything's locked down and people are going, I don't want to spend money right now. I don't know if I can afford a coach right now. I was victorious from the beginning. Once I have that word, I put it where I can see it. For me, this actually means it's in my podcast planner. So I use, I call it old fashioned. It's really not, but I use a paper planner to sketch out episodes, put my ideas, social media plan, like all of that. So I'm in this planner every week. I'm opening this up. This word is right there for me all the time. You might need it even more present. You might want to take that vision board because you love vision boards, and that's great. Put the word on the vision board. See the word for the year. You might just want to get really crafty on your computer, design something, and have it as your wallpaper, your back screen. I love using the background photo on my phone. When I really need to focus on that word, I have to see it every single day. So what if you took some time right now and thought about what would your word be for 2021? Now, you might have a word that comes up immediately and you're like me and you're like, oh, heck no, throw it out, run away. There might be a reason you're rejecting that word. Maybe it challenges you, it stretches you. Maybe you don't like the idea of being uncomfortable. Ooh, oh gosh, I could do a whole episode on the benefits of feeling uncomfortable. That could be your word. You might think, okay, I'm going to spend some time, and then no word comes to you. That's okay. Just keep coming back to it. I promise you a word is going to come up. Sometimes I've just been reading. Sometimes I'm just sitting there relaxing. That is honestly when the best thoughts come, is when I just sit and turn everything off, my brain off. And it's like, boop, there it is. And then I go through I want to reject it feeling, knowing I need to press in. Yes, I'm a total nerd. I look up the definition, which of course makes me want to reject it more, but I do it anyway because I want as much clarity around that word as possible. Now, normally I don't share my word with anyone. Sometimes I'll share it with my coach, my spouse, but I really keep that word close to my heart. It's visible to me. It's visible in everything that I do. But I don't feel this overwhelming sense to share it with the world. It's okay if you want to, though. Maybe what you want to do is share it with your coach, share it with your bestie, share it with your spouse for accountability. It's okay to ask for accountability. It's okay to ask for support. It's okay to keep that word just quiet and close to your heart and present to your own thoughts. So the one word you need in your life is just the word for the year. Where do you want to have your focus? Whether you're making goals for your family, for yourself, for your health, for your business, whatever that is, what is the one word you want every goal to come from? I kind of picture that word like the seed that you plant. And everything that grows from that seed comes from that word. Think about that. It's going to be deeply rooted and it's going to branch out. I love that visual. So what's your word? What's the word that you want to set forth before the year starts that is your focus? I don't have one yet. At the time I'm recording this, I honestly don't have one yet. And I fully believe it's going to come. It's going to come as organically and naturally as it always does. I might go through that rejection process again. I know full well that it's just part of my process. But even in that rejection process and the uncomfortable, I learn so much. I learn about myself and about what is possible with that word being my focus. I'm excited. I actually get so excited for the word. Like, I'm ready for it. It just hasn't come yet. All right, ladies, I hope that this episode inspired you and encouraged you. Until next week.